term or short term.
What are we showing though?
Now I agree because and I also
it's whatever you want to show. If you want to show me you're an asshole, then show me that you're an asshole, and that's gonna make me just go and walk about my business just earlier.
Okay, now if I can add, because I've always heard I heard women say, don't give wife things to a man without him being your husband. Right? You've heard that?
Yeah.
But at the same time, want to be courted. And if you don't take me out, you don't bring me flowers, or you don't do this or don't do that, then you're not proving to me or showing me that you want me as a potential
because
relationship
everybody
partner.
Okay, but that's on that individual. Everybody has what do you call it?
Their standards,
things, qualities, whatever that they want in a person or in a man or whatever, or in a woman. Okay, so if her quality is for you to just take her out and spend your money on her, is that somebody you want to be with?
No.
All right, so she's showing you that from the door, that if you don't do certain things for me, I don't want to be with you. So
but the point is,
that should tell you. Hello, how y'all doing today? Welcome to Candid Conversations. How y'all doing today, everybody? I'm your host, Kyra, of course, and I hope everybody had a wonderful day. We have our late come. Well, Sean is at fire, so everybody know he's a firefighter. So he's at work and he's at fire today, so he will not be joining us today. Derek, he's running it late, so you have me, and I should be enough. But I'm not by myself today, so I'm going to introduce our co-host and our guidance counselor today, Miss. Hold up, Dr. Tawana Rochester. Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm all right. You know me.
We're about to get into some things.
We're going to get into some things. I don't know what things we're going to get into, but we're going to get into something. I ain't got me up here late for no reason. Everybody, I want y'all to welcome Tawana. So Tawana, tell us about yourself. Dr. Tawana. Can I call you Dr. Tawana?
Yeah, you can call me Dr. Tawana. You can call me Cuz. You can call me Wally.
See, I wasn't going to tell everybody that you was my cousin, because they're going to be like, she got firefighters, she got doctors. Like, So
yeah,
keep that on the low.
Yeah. Look like the deacon just joined us.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Mr. Deacon.
You didn't even introduce me. You just throw me up here. Now, when I did last year,
you threw yourself up there.
I didn't. I did not.
I did not at all. I didn't touch a button.
I didn't either. All of a sudden, I just popped up. I said, "Oh, now when I did it last week, we had a problem. This week, I'm just." Hey, Dr. T, how are you? How are you doing?
Good. How about you?
I love you. I love your house. It's beautiful. I love it. Love it.
It's a wonderful background. Thank you.
I swear.
I'm gonna introduce myself like I was gonna say like cousin Axe, but like Kyra Axe. So I am Dr. T. For quite some time, I used my tagline used to be I am Coach T, soon to be Dr. Rock. So my history, I have been in counseling for years. I call it not professional counseling. So I routed myself to become a counselor by way of being a certified life coach first. And so I went to school, got my 40 hours, became a certified life coach, and then went to school to get my doctorate in counseling because it's something that I have always done. It's always been the gift, but I never really had the skill set because there's a difference between the two. So mental health is huge, and I'm going to school to get that skill set sharpened. It was necessary. So that's who I am. I love it. I'm back in school to get my second doctorate. My first doctorate is in biblical counseling. My second doctorate will be in mental health counseling. So I will always be a student. I Love Healthy Me. We cover 3 areas. We cover your body, we cover your spirit, and we cover your mind. So even after getting this doctorate, I'm going for my third doctorate for holistic. Because it's necessary, because we're a 3-part being. And oftentimes you have counselors, you have life coaches, that just focus on one part of the person, but we are a 3-part being. And oftentimes when you go to the doctors and you have issues, you only get that one issue addressed. But if you have a mental issue, you can't get that mental issue addressed. So when you come to I Love Healthy Me, we're the one-stop shop. So that's who I am.
Now.
Come on, somebody, touch your neighbor.
And I want to be healthy, so I can't. I'm hilarious. He gonna have you laughing up here. He is definitely gonna have you laughing up here. Because that's his thing.
Yeah.
All right. So my first question, I have a question. I always have this question so everyone can understand. When it comes to mental health in the Black community, why do you feel as though we don't like to see a therapist for our mental health?
And to be honest, I really don't think it's just the Black community. I believe it's all communities. People avoid. I personally feel that people avoid going to counseling because they struggle with vulnerability with themselves and with others. Instead of like facing discomfort, they mask it. They mask their feelings with shame. They mask their feelings with pride, when deep down inside is a fear of exposing themselves, their true selves, by admitting that they really need help. So I say people oftentimes like to be in relationship with others, but don't know how to be in relationship with themselves. And when you can't be vulnerable with yourself, what can you really offer to others? So if you have an issue with being in relationship with yourself and you neglect yourself by going to get the help that you need, then that's a true sign of you really need the help. And so you should go get the help that you need. But oftentimes we neglect it because we don't know how to be vulnerable.
That's true.
We don't know what that looks like. And that's why we should go to counseling, to learn how to be vulnerable. We lose our autonomy. We don't know how to make the choice for ourselves, but we'll make choices for others.
Sure will. Yeah, we be going down these wrong paths as it is. Yeah. So, what should people look for when to realize or understand that, okay, I need some help?
So they need to look within, to be honest. Like, for instance, if you have diabetes, you're not going to go to the eye doctor. So you got to be true with yourself. You gotta know. You gotta know what you need. And I always say the first step to getting help is identifying what's really going on. There's a difference between physiology and sociology, or psychology. When we struggle with issues, oftentimes stress shows up in our body, but it also shows up in our mind, right? And so we conflict with that. We don't understand that. We'll have stresses at work, and then we'll have heart palpitations, right? And so instead of going to the hospital and the mental health counselor, we'll just go to the hospital because we're having flutters of the heart. Well, that stress, that's physiology that we're dealing with, because stress causes the body to react. Our body speaks to us when we're under stress, right? But then we don't know how to connect the dots when it comes to the psychology part of stress, because we don't know how to navigate, to getting better. So when we identify with what's really going on with ourselves, then we'll know what to choose, because there's a difference between anger management and trauma. There are trauma counselors and there are anger management counselors, right? And so if you have a problem with anger, disorders are different from when you're getting diagnosed with a disorder. You can have an anxiety disorder, but then you can also have bipolarism, or there you can also have schizophrenia, or you can have fits of rage. But if you can identify with what's going on within yourself, then you'll wind up choosing the wrong counselor. So I think it's best to speak with someone so that they can help you navigate on getting the proper help that you need. If not, you'll just be spending money. You'll be spending your copay at a counselor that you think is giving you the information that you need, but they're not.
You don't need.
Exactly.
Got you. I go to therapy. I've been in therapy for like 2 years. I think I needed a therapist, anger management. I needed the whole kit and caboodle. I really did. But I did it for me, because after a while, when people start saying you a mean girl and this, that, and the next, you got to kind of self-reflect and be like, okay, maybe it is me. It was me. It was me. Whatever.
And see, that's maturity. That's maturity. When you know yourself, you know yourself. Not everybody knows their self, unfortunately. And that's a true issue with human beings, not knowing themselves.
Yeah. Hi, Janice. Yeah, I could say I know for myself, I can't speak for like everybody, but I know for myself, it took a lot for me to go to therapy. But it was better because now I'm a totally different person because of therapy. And I know how to deal with things sometimes in a in a better way. You know what I'm saying? I don't lash out. I'm not out here fighting and acting like I ain't got kids at home.
Yeah, because you know what? Boundaries end with us, but begin with the other person. But when we don't establish boundaries with ourselves, then that's the issue, because we're quick to establish boundaries with others. We're quick to tell people, no, you're not going to do this to me. But then we betray ourselves.
Yeah.
We betray ourselves, so I always say, before you can really get in a relationship with anybody else, be it, socially, professionally, even in a loving relationship, a marriage, significant other relationship, if you don't know yourself, if you don't know how to establish boundaries with yourself, you in for a long roller coaster ride.
I hear you. Pinky, I see you on Instagram, girl. You don't have to jump on Facebook. We see you. So why do you think that this stigma about, therapy, because I'm pretty sure you once heard and seen, like, especially around here in Patterson, a lot of people are like, the young man that was shot and killed because he was having a mental breakdown. It happens a lot, is that just us being disconnected?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Because we have this Superman syndrome, we have the Superwoman, Wonder Woman syndrome. Oh, I don't need therapy. I'm good. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because even the therapist, a therapist myself, therapists need therapists, because if we hold everything in, we'll explode. But we are creatures of communication. So if we don't communicate what we're feeling on the inside, what's going on internally, we'll damage ourselves, which will damage relationships. And we need to talk. We don't need to have that Superwoman, Wonder Woman, Superman syndrome, because it's not healthy. It's not healthy.
It sure ain't. And I don't communicate well. And I can say that I don't communicate well. But I'm not always mean about it. I talk. I'll just say how I feel. And sometimes it don't come out right. So I'll be like, I don't know. I don't know what else you want me to do. Like, and my therapist, she's like, you can't say stuff like that. It's a nicer way to say this. And I'll just be like, but why? Like, let me just say what I want to say. Get it off my chest. And because I don't always think that I just have this thing like, oh, but you have to understand other people's feelings, and you have to be able to I don't feel that way.
Why don't you think you feel that way? I mean, you have to have your own autonomy of for yourself, but at the same time, you always, if you don't know how to be generous with yourself, you're not going to exude generosity.
You want to know why I don't feel that way? Because I will only do that to people that do it to me. I treat people how they treat me. And I have, and they say that's not always good either, but that's just, I can't help it. I can't
so you create a cycle.
Somebody that's being mean to me. I can't be nice to somebody that hurt my feelings.
You can, you choose not to.
Okay, I choose not to.
Yeah, you can. I mean, because and then that's your autonomy as well. Because autonomy means you have the right to choose your own choice. You're not codependent on anybody, but hearing you, that sounds like codependency and autonomy mixed together. Because you treat people based on how they treat you. So you don't make your own choice. Your choice comes from how someone treats you.
Yeah, because
so it's not your authentic you.
If you treat me bad, I'm gonna treat you bad.
Yeah, so you're only treating somebody bad because they treated you bad. So it's really not your authentic you.
I want them to feel how they made me feel.
So,
and this is what I deal with week after week. Dr. T, I just need you to pray for me.
It's a process. Listen, I never said I was healed. I said I am healing.
And you get just a bit of it right now for the last 3 minutes. You got just a bit of the under
he said the last 3 minutes.
The under attackment that I deal with on a weekly basis. It's just no getting through to her.
But I know this. This is just like, I know who I am. I know this about me, and I get they give me these, little things to kind of help me, but I'm still
violent.
But it's not really you. Is that really you, right? Because when I first started off, when you asked me the question, why don't people like to go to counseling? And I said, because they struggle with vulnerability. And so when you struggle with vulnerability, you become prideful. You become ashamed. You become, well, I'm going to get them back because they got me. You become that thing because you can't be vulnerable. You can't be free, because the definition of vulnerability is to be free, to be me. Mm-hmm. Right? So I'm not going to treat you how you treat me. I'm going to treat you according to who I am, my standard in life.
Come on, somebody. Come on. Come on. Come on. Look at her. See, this is what I deal with. See, she's a brick wall. She's a frozen sponge. She's a frozen sponge. That's what she is.
A frozen sponge. Oh my God.
I'm serious though. Like, I'm myself with a lot of people, but once you do something to me,
then you become them.
My feelings, I become very revengeful, and I want you to feel how you made me feel.
So you become them.
Okay.
You become who treated you the way you got treated, but that's not you.
No, they know that's not me. That's why anybody who meet me know I'm a nice person.
Oh yeah, you're a sweetheart. just don't cross you. Then you become somebody else.
So you hope to know when you aggravate. Don't even cross it, because she get aggravated without being crossed.
No, I treat Derek differently from everybody. Derek got my nerves. He's doing it on purpose.
What am
Yeah.
I
But
doing?
see,
I'm
you
just trying to
betray
make
your
you
true
better.
self.
I
Don't
just want
betray
you to be better.
yourself.
You deserve better. You deserve to be better. Come
But
to
I
better.
always tell people I'm not healed. I'm healing. I'm learning. It's a journey.
It
I'm
is.
trying. I'm
It is.
really
Yeah,
out the
your
person
journey
I
is cross
used
country though. You got.
to know. The person that I used to be, I'm not that same person. I feel like I'm a totally different person. I do have some little personalities. It's some personality traits that's still there, but some bad behavior, some toxic behavior that's still there, and it's being worked on. So I'm gonna get there eventually.
Absolutely. Yeah, because there's a difference between traits and states of being. States of being is temporary. And like for instance, I'm going on this job interview and I'm really nervous about it. That's a state of being. I'm nervous right now, but once the job interview is over, I'm no longer nervous. But a trait is this is who I am. I'm going to be nervous all the time. I'm going to have anxiety. I got to take medication for it. And some people live that life, but you don't have to stay in that life.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Janice
gonna.
said, I'm a brick wall, but I also kill people with kindness.
That's my girl.
And I think I know Janice Miller. I think I know Janice Miller. Is that the one who
Yeah.
works with Shawnee?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I know Janice.
Yes.
Janice, be your authentic self, my dear.
It's hard in this world. People just make you want to do stuff to
No, nobody makes you do anything. You choose to do
them.
it.
Come on.
That's what
Tell her again.
autonomy is my
Tell her again.
choice. My choice to choose my choice, not somebody else's choice.
That's true. Because sometimes I just choose to be mean to people.
So you take on their identity.
I don't take on their identity. I just take on,
She takes on violence. She takes on violence.
I
That's what
choose
she
violence.
does. She
I do.
chooses violence even when violence is not needed.
I choose
That's what she
violence a
does.
lot. Mhm.
Cousin.
I do.
That's why I said
I'm telling you, cousin.
it's
But I
a journey.
changed. I've changed a lot, but you know,
She changed her clothes, she changed her panties, but the attitude is
Oh
still there.
gosh.
my attitude is fine.
But
It
she
was
has
for me.
she was one of the main factors of me seeking therapy. And I've been on my journey for a couple of years, but it was because number one, because I needed to talk to somebody if I was gonna have to deal with her on a regular basis.
Oh my
Um but I saw the difference in her once she started going to therapy when we have a serious moment. So I was like, well,
Absolutely.
after the death of my parents and going through divorce, I needed to sit in somebody's chair,
Mm-hmm.
um, a barber's chair, a bartender's chair, somebody's chair. But I decided to choose therapy because of um, the work that the working that that's going on with Kyra.
It's, I'm getting there. I deserve a pat on the back for something.
We're
That's
trying to
right,
figure out.
girl.
We're
Yeah,
trying to
because you're
actually
in
figure out where
counseling.
there
That's
is.
right.
We don't know where there is, but you getting there.
I'm getting somewhere.
Oh my goodness. I saw
But
Jenny said something about fail, and it's okay to fail.
Janice said the tests are so real to the point where I fail. God is still
Yeah.
working on me.
Mm-hmm. And it's
You have
it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. It's just not. It's just realizing that you're not a failure. There's a difference between failing and identifying yourself as a failure.
Come on,
You
she is
know,
dropping words in here today. Come, will somebody send her cash app, please? Will there be one? Will there be one? No millions have come. There's
We
always
have
one.
somebody from
So,
Instagram that says, not all places, this is from Patty. She says, not all places take insurance, and they also stop people from going to therapy.
that's I'm glad she said that, right? And what's her name? Patty. Okay.
Yes.
So Patty, when it comes to that, not I don't even take insurance. I don't take insurance. And when people who don't know what counselors go through with insurance companies, um a, a a client will come in and make their copay, which may be $25, $10, $35. And then on the back end, the counselor is supposed to fight with the insurance company to get the rest. Oftentimes, counselors don't like to deal with insurance companies because it's always a fight. And then who has to experience that lack of support? The client, right? Because then the therapist, they're not just in this field just to help people, but they're there to make money as well because they have to, pay bills. They have a lifestyle, so oftentimes a lot of clients experience that. But there are therapists that have sliding scales. There are therapists that do pro bono work. And so there's help out there for you, but we don't want you to not get the help that you need because this particular therapist don't take insurance. Find somebody else to get the help that you need. And then on top of that, invest in yourself. You are worth the investment. And so if it means I'm not going to get those pair of sneakers or get that outfit, I'm going to go to counseling. Choose your mental health over that outfit. Choose your mental health over going out. Choose your mental health because you are worth the investment.
That's right. And Patty also said that I allow people to walk all over me and I can't help it.
So why do you think you allow people to walk all over you? What are you afraid of? There's a fear there, a fear of loss. And so you have to choose yourself, because if you don't choose yourself and you keep betraying yourself, then you're choosing others over yourself. There is a such thing as being selfish. There's a healthy way of being selfish, because if you keep betraying yourself and don't establish boundaries for yourself, then you'll always be second to yourself when you should be first to yourself. Because in order for you to effectively be in a relationship, a healthy relationship with somebody else, you got to know what that look like with yourself. Date yourself, be friends with yourself, love yourself, and know what that looks like, so that when the opposite of love comes, you can say, no, that's not for me. But if you can't identify that for yourself, you won't be able to identify that in relationships.
All right now.
Choose our own self, be true.
That's it.
That's it. Whole sermon right there.
Yeah, belong to your own self. We are people that love community, and community is key because we have to have support. But you have to have a belonging to yourself first. Belong to yourself.
She says, thank you.
You're welcome, dear.
Don't bother me tomorrow, Patty. Talk about, let me get your cousin number.
just don't have insurance because she's not taking it.
But I do have a sliding scale, so you need help. Yeah.
And I also noticed that it's a lot of it's like, I don't know, I be seeing them on like social media where it's places like they tell you that you can call and they have like therapists available. It's like a phone number or something that you can call, and they have therapists available for it. I think it's called Heal With Me or something like that. And it's like a 1-800 number you call, and they have a therapist 24/7. I don't know if they take insurance, but it's something. And they also have
how they got a 24-hour therapist. Hello, how are you?
There's probably therapists on rotation. There's a lot of companies that do that because it's so many people experiencing mental health issues, and there's not a lot of qualified therapists.
That's true.
I mean, because you have some therapists out there that have lost their license, because just it's not a lot of quality therapists out there, unfortunately.
And it's just trivia because I know when I first started going to therapy, I didn't like my first therapist. Um, she got on my nerves actually,
Wow.
and I didn't like her, so I switched.
Yeah, yeah. And you have that right. Yeah. Because if you're not getting what you need, I mean, you're spending your hard-earned money. You want to get somebody who is qualified to help you. And here's another thing: therapists are not supposed to tell you what to do.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
Therapists
the
are
big one.
supposed. Coaches tell you what to do. There's a difference between a life coach and a counselor. A coach will partner with you to get you moving forward. A counselor partners with you to help you heal your past so that you can move forward. But counselors don't tell you what to do. They actually stir up what's already inside of you for you to see how to navigate your own life.
yeah, they piss you off.
Right, right, right. They definitely. I was about to say that they piss you off.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Yeah,
ask
I
you. They
mean,
ask you
because they're
questions.
going to ask those questions. They're going to put it right on your lap. Well, why do you, because to be honest, you really know the goal. You really know what to do. You just need help navigating through it and coming out of denial.
Yeah, Pinky, you're absolutely right. Pinky said you have to screen them too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, my first one hated her, but the second counselor I had, love her. I love my counselor I have now. I
Yeah.
honestly, I do. She's a big help in my
Yeah.
life.
And
Now,
effective counselors will give you homework.
Oh God,
that's
yeah.
the problem. That's the problem. That's the homework part. They're
I
like,
hate the
no,
homework. The
I didn't pay
homework
you
is
for homework.
horrible.
I didn't pay you for me to come back and talk about what and tell you I didn't do what you asked me to do because I wasn't ready to do it. Like, come
You
on,
don't do your homework.
huh?
Huh?
You don't do your homework, Derek.
I do my homework. I do my homework when I want to do it. Now, if I don't want to do it, if I had a rough session and you gonna tell me this is for homework, then you already know when I come back the next time that I ain't do it because you gave me a hard time the first time. Don't we not gonna do it like that. You ain't gonna call me out in front of the public. Don't do that, Kyrie. You know I don't do it all the time.
So why you sabotage your session and not do what's helpful for you?
No, I don't sabotage it. I'm just defiant. That's just a part of that's one of my makeups. But
Yeah,
but
so your defiance, your rebellion causes you to to sabotage, right?
so we have I think that's our working relationship. Me and my therapist, he's a man of belief.
Uh-huh.
So he comes in and he already knows what kind of session we're gonna have because I say, you did this, sir. You did this. It wasn't me. You sabotaged it because no one told you what to ask me. Nobody told you to go down this road. We was someplace else. You wanted to go down this road, and now so you did this. This is your own self sabotory. We don't ever get to call out the doctor and tell the doctor that they did this. Like you did this, sir.
How did he do it?
Because
There's definitely somebody
saw
blame.
he saw the
Derek,
anguish. He saw the anguish as we was going there, and I'm like, no, we don't want to do that. Let's stay here on this topic because I see a breakthrough coming on this topic. And you're like, no, I want to dig a little deeper. No, sometimes we got to stop digging. Rehoboth, come on, somebody, touch your neighbor. Sometimes we got to stop digging.
Well, that's
and
what
I
counselors
also,
do. It's called exploration. So we have to explore, right? Because we see your goal, we see how to get there, but we can't tell you how to do it. We have to ask the questions, frame the comments so that you can go, so you can have aha moments. Yeah, so
I,
we're gonna always do exploration, always.
I hate it. I hate it. But I do my home. I ain't like Derek. I ain't defying it now. I do my homework. I ain't like Derek. I do my homework. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
but
I'm trying to.
you've been in therapy for 17 years, so let's
Oh my
stop.
goodness.
We ain't gonna do this.
I'm trying to get up. I'm trying to make it up to heaven. I'm not playing around with my healing. So
So
no,
I
no.
have a question. Though. So why we talk about why we touch on the black community, but and you made a very valid point because not just the black community, but I wanna jump a little over to the left and talk about why men have such a hard time seeking help or have such a hard time with vulnerability?
Yeah. And I just did a paper on that. There's a lot of men. I'll back up. There's a lot of counselors who don't know the language for men. And so when a man decides to be vulnerable and come to counseling, and the counselor cannot relate to that man, the counselor has already lost that man. But when it comes to a man not wanting to be vulnerable, it's no different from the person that doesn't want to be vulnerable. But men struggle with being not being vulnerable more than women struggle with not being vulnerable. And it's the pride aspect, is the shame aspect. Um, I don't want nobody to know that I'm actually experiencing this. Because it's the machoism, it's the masculinity. But once they lay that down, once they allow themselves to be free, within themselves, if this is true about me, then why can't I be free about it? And a lot of times they're not free about it, like any individual, because of the vulnerability piece. They're really not free within themselves, because the truth is the truth. We can mask it all day long, but if I'm hurting, I'll just say if you're hurting, what's wrong with getting help for your hurt? If we, if and I'm gonna really come down your aisle, because you're gonna know I'm really Shawnee's sister. If you have a problem with, you're married and you have a problem with um, erections, you're not gonna keep that issue silent. You're gonna go get help. So it's no different than mental deflation. When there is no capacity with you mentally, why not go get the same help if you're having a problem with erections?
Because you don't have to use your mental like you need to use that erection.
You have to
Sometimes,
use your mental more than your erection.
yeah, but it's not to our pleasure. Come on, somebody.
Oh
Sometimes
yeah, because
we
mental stimulation starts first. Because if you don't know what to say, if you don't know what to say, if you don't know how to say it, then you're really not going to get the response you're looking for to sustain that erection.
mainly because when you really think about it, a lot of times they use the physical to cover up the mental issues. So if I give up, if rather than me stressing out, I'm gonna just be physical, and then I call it de-stressing. I'm de-stressing, even though I'm not doing that. But that's where we have tricked our minds to think that we are de-stressing by using the physical. So then when you say it like that, we're replacing the use of a mental getting mental help with just getting many cheeks or getting as many beds as we can to cover up the fact that we need to be seeking mental help.
Right. So it's an ongoing thing. So there's never a satisfaction there.
Right.
You're never satisfied when if you just go get the help that you truly need. If you face your truth and get the help that you truly need, then you break the cycle, you break the pattern. And because when it comes to the body, like I said, that's physiology. But when it comes to the mind, that's psychology. Oftentimes, like you just described, we neglect the psychology part, and we deal with the sociology part, the physiology part of our body. So let me just hump till I can't hump no more, and thinking that what I'm going through mentally is going to change. No, it'll never change.
Sure ain't. And you think I'm
It'll
fun.
never change.
No,
It'll
no,
actually get worse.
I'm
it gets
burn it out.
horrible.
Hmm.
You
Yeah, because
you you
deflation
find
is
yourself
deflation.
one thing I had to well, I'm still in the process of doing is attaching certain things to my happiness to cover up the sadness. So um one of the homework pieces that I've been on was detaching and actually putting down those things that I try to attach to for happiness, because then my happiness is based off of that thing and not off of just being happy with oneself. So that's one of the lessons that I have been, that is one of the journeys I've been on. But it wasn't a fun journey, because when you start talking about detaching yourself from things, that means like detaching yourself from certain relationships and certain events and certain exercises that you tend to enjoy, but you end up abusing those enjoyments just so because you want to be in that place of happiness instead of dealing with your sadness or dealing with whatever the issues that you have.
I'm glad you said that, because oftentimes we show up in relationship based on our attachment style, and attachment styles are birthed out of when we're birthed out of our relationship with our guardian or our parents. And so there are four different attachment styles: secure, that means you show up secure in any relationship; avoidant, um, anxiety, or disorganization, which is a combination of fear and avoidant. And so, whatever type of situation that's going on in your life, be it your job, be it yourself, be it in a marriage relationship or a significant other, if you have problems with avoidance, then you have issues with confrontation, you have issues with accountability. When you experience trauma, and you don't know how to show up in that relationship in a secure attachment style, you'll show up avoidant. You'll walk away. You'll be in isolation. You won't talk. And so to break relationship with that, it's trying, because you have been in relationship with that attachment style for so many years that it's hard to see. It's hard to show up as a secure person in that relationship, because you have been in relationship with this attachment style since a child. So you literally have to stay in counseling to relearn how to show up and be secure. And that looks like when accountability is in front of your face, to be mature enough and be accountable for it, and not go back to that avoidant attachment style or that anxious attachment style. Because if you don't show up or don't learn, you'll be in counseling for years and years and years.
Like Kyra.
Look, I already told my therapist we might as well be married, because you gonna be with me forever.
Kyra
You know,
about,
a lot of
Kyra about to put her whole family through college.
I really did.
and you know, a lot of times when you're in relationship with somebody who has um, a secure attachment style, or let's just say there is no secure, let's just say the woman has an anxiety attachment style and the man has an avoidant attachment style, they will clash consistently. They will always argue, because she walks in fear and you avoid. So when an issue comes up, um, you're going to always hear, but I thought you said you was going to do this, or I thought you said you was never going to do that. And because you have an avoidant attachment style, you're not going to want to talk about it. I can't deal with this no more. I done told her this. And so the two never become healed, because the two aren't healed. You have an avoidant attachment style and an anxiety attachment style. Somebody who walks in fear and somebody who is not going to talk about their issues. They're just going to walk away.
Yeah,
So you
I have when I'm working on detaching, I have an avoidance attachment style.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. and
Yeah.
and and you
And
can become secure. You really can. Now, is it avoidant or is it disorganized? Is it fear? Is it fear and avoidant, or is it just avoidant?
it's avoided.
Okay, so you're very dismissive.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, he
And
is.
so, yeah, and so the I'm sure your counselor, your therapist have that, the steps to that, is just, you know walking out of fear, because there's something that you're afraid of. There's a loss that you experienced at a young age that caused you so much trauma that instead of facing it, I'm going to avoid fear at all costs, because what I faced early on hurt so much that I don't want to feel that anymore. So
Right.
you avoid it. Yeah. And
Yes,
then you
ma'am.
suppress your emotions.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Right. Bev,
I say don't take one day at a time. Take one moment at a time. One day is too much. Take one moment at a time. And then celebrate that moment after you have overcome not being dismissive.
Yep.
we
That's
gonna
the same thing. That's the same thing my doctor said to do, but I think it's not working. I don't think it's working too well because I celebrated with Starbucks, and so my
I
like
ain't
I
messing with Zeri.
I tackled it. Starbucks.com, but it don't work.
But what's wrong with Starbucks? I mean, is there something wrong with does going to Starbucks hurt your health or something?
Right, because it's my choices. Like I still gotta drop like 100 pounds. So
Okay,
um,
okay. So you go from one of you celebrate overcoming one avoidant, but then sabotage and go into another avoidant, knowing that I can't have that cake or that's whatever you get at Starbucks. So just choose something else.
he just said that last week. Like, so I know this is y'all just got the same. Y'all went to the same school. Like I don't want. Like,
Yeah.
this is what you can say. Y'all are all the same.
Money, money.
Is the cognitive theory, because therapists studies that we study theory. So sounds like he does CBT, but and most therapists do that. But yeah, you got to stop betraying yourself because you're so important. You're valued. But if you keep betraying your true self, then it'll be hard to overcome. But choose you.
Every
You got
day.
to choose you each time.
Every
I
day.
mean, I'm Shawnee's sister, so I was 350 pounds. I had diabetes, high blood pressure, fibroids, adenomyosis. You name the disease, I had it. I had to choose me because, you know, I'm called to people. So I can't very well tell you change your body, but you got to change your mind first. And I'm 350 pounds. So I had to love myself enough to say no to myself, to stop betraying myself because I got work to do. And I'm not in corporate America anymore. So I got to do something. And I know you're called to a people. That's why you got deacon under your name. So I know you called to a people.
Come on, touch your neighbor.
Well, he ain't that kind of deacon.
Grab,
No,
grab your neighbor. Grab your neighbor by the hand right now. Where you stand, just grab your neighbor. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, did you pass gas? Did you?
You're so funny.
That was you. That was you, wasn't it?
Beth says, I am one who keeps to myself a lot. Safer that way. I don't let people in.
Yeah, so that's isolation. So fear, once again, you isolate because you're afraid because you've been hurt, and you don't want to, hurt hurts. When you have been betrayed, when you have been dogged, when you have been mistreated, nobody likes that feeling. But isolation is not good either because then you'll never heal. You'll never trust anybody. So you got to step away from isolation and give your heart a break, give your mind a break, and start one step at a time because, we have to learn to know how to be in community, but know how to be with ourselves. But we just can't just be with everybody and then not know how to belong to ourselves. And then at the same time, we can't just belong to ourselves and not belong to people because then we will never grow. And in life we have to grow. Even animals don't like to be by themselves. So when we get to that point that we're so hurt that we have to shut ourselves from off the world, then have a conversation with yourself and let yourself know, I'm going to get better. I have to get better because I'm not called to be by myself. I'm called to be a part of community. And although some people are crazy, we have to choose who to be with, who our community is, because that's part of your autonomy, Beth. You have your choice to choose your own choice, but allow that choice to be a healthy choice. not a choice of isolation, because you'll never grow in isolation.
That's true. But
Mhm.
it's not wrong with wanting to be by yourself, is it?
No, I mean, no, I mean, because as extrovert as I am, I call myself a double extrovert. There are times when I need to just belong to myself. There are times when I just need to steal away, but that can't be my entire life.
I like being by myself.
But you like being with people too. Look at the people that you're called to every Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
these people, they don't know. They're the reason why I need therapy. No.
No, it's more like you're the reason. You're the reason why they're going to seek therapy.
You know what?
So, okay, I have a question. I have another question for you. Then, what do you say to the person um who has setbacks? They have done they are in therapy, or they have done therapy, they have done the work, but they come across those unforeseen traumas, or the things that they thought they were already healed from, but when it resurfaces, they find out that it's not, they haven't been healed.
I said, I say that's very good, because now you have a heightened awareness of yourself, because that thing that has just sprung forth has been lying dormant, and so now is the time to face it. Can you face it head on? Some people can and some people can't, but don't allow that awareness to go back to being dormant. Rejoice, because this thing that was lying dormant is now made aware to you. And so sometimes it's hard to be responsible for that thing that has been lying dormant in you, because it's been lying dormant for some time. And so it's probably been lying dormant because of the weight of trauma that's attached to it. And so if you're already in therapy, bring it to your therapist's attention to help you navigate through that, so that you can make healthy choices regarding that trauma that has been made aware to you
Triggers.
now. Because our triggers are ours. They're nobody else's. They're ours, but we don't have to hold on to triggers. We can use triggers as a testimony.
Hallelujah. Because
Hmm.
I'm triggered all the time.
Yeah, because it's all about emotional wellness, you know. And if there's no emotional wellness, we just continue to damage ourselves. Like,
Mhm.
there's a thing, a standard that I have, even more so as a counselor, because everybody have opinions. My father-in-law, he said opinions are like elbows and ears, everybody has them. But your opinion is not going to cause me to be in a word war with you. And so your opinion of me holds no weight in my life, because of my standard. So um people are going to be people. So people say whatever they want to say, but don't allow what people say to have weight in your life, because if it does, then it just changes who you are. If you allow that in, it just changes who you are. Instead of the standard of who you are, you become something that you're not.
Mhm.
So don't get into word wars with people, arguments with people. People gonna say what they want to say, and I will okay a person to death. Okay,
That's me. That
okay,
must be a family trait.
Hmm. You don't okay people to death. You okay them until you can cut them off.
No, I don't. Oh,
Yeah,
who care?
like I am the queen of cut off. I don't care
No, why?
who. I will cut your ass. I will,
Why?
because I don't be want to be bothered with people. Like if you, mm, if I feel like you're not a good person,
Hmm.
I won't deal with you. Like I have stopped being friends with people because they side chicks. I have because I don't live my life like that. And I think and I have an opinion about people who sitting there and they mess with other people men. I have an opinion about that. You're the person that I'm talking about. So why am I gonna be friends with you still? I'm just gonna cut you off. You ain't gonna know why I cut you off, but that's why.
I mean, so there's a difference between chickens and eagles. They both have wings, but
Mhm.
eagles are in the air and chickens are on the ground. So you just have to know your value. You know, I, I don't cut people off. People
Okay.
just leave.
I just not
Because
force.
yeah, yeah. People just leave. Because I don't have to cut anybody off because of my lifestyle. Um, you will either get with me or not get with me, and you'll leave. But I don't have to cut you off because my lifestyle speaks for itself. I'm an eagle all day long, and
Yeah,
so I don't hang around chickens. Chickens choose to want to be with the eagle.
that's what
you
I do
know
too.
um but I'm not going my language is not that of a chicken. My style is not that of a chicken. I'm an eagle all day long, and so if that chicken gets intimidated and get angry, they'll either walk away or try to start a fight, and I will okay them to death, and then eventually they'll walk away. But when you live your life, people just walk away. You don't have to cut them off.
Sometimes I do. I just don't like to be bothered. Like I'll just stop talking to you. I won't call. I won't like. I'll just stop talking to you. Period. And that's just how I am. I don't care, and I don't feel nothing about it. I don't feel bad about it. I
You should see your face.
She know what her face look like. This is what they'll tell you. This is what I'm talking about.
I don't be caring. I can't do it. I can't be around people that just don't add no value to my life. I can't. I like people that if you're gonna sit around me and just gossip, and then turn around and be in somebody else's face that you just talked about. Yeah, no, I can't. You can't be my friend.
But then what about just being the example in front of them?
I don't talk about people. I tell them in a minute. This ain't. I don't do that. I let them know. But I don't want to talk to you no more.
If they can't add value to your life, and you know that because you're an eagle and they're a chicken,
I'm
but
not
you
adding
can add value to their life to be an example of what life looks like as an eagle, you know.
that. That's
So
too
what is your
draining.
contribution to society if you're just going to keep walking away from people who don't do things like you do?
They don't have to do things like I do. I just it's draining. People will drain your soul out your body if they could. I'm not letting nobody drain all my energy out of me trying to help you.
No, how can somebody drain you?
Because they be needy.
No is a complete sentence.
I do. I say no a lot.
So how can they be draining?
I don't have a problem telling people no. And I'd be like, you could, and I tell people like, y'all need therapy. Y'all need to
So
talk
how
to
so how can
somebody
they be
outside of
draining if you tell them no?
because they be trying to drain you with all of their issues, their problems, their situations. Like I ain't got stuff I'm going through. No, and you know who I talk to about my problems? My therapist. Mm-mm. I don't have a lot of friends, and I'll be the first one to say if I got 5 friends, I'm good.
Yeah. Now I understand that. Yeah, my circle is very small.
Most of the people that I hang around, I be around is my family.
Hmm.
I don't do that friendship stuff. And the majority of my friends is dudes, ain't even women. I think I may have two women friends.
Hmm.
Everybody else is a man. I ain't got time.
Okay.
Women got too much drama with them. I ain't got time. I love women. I love my ladies. But
Yeah, people in general just have a lot of drama, especially when there's no emotional wellness.
whew,
When people don't know how to have, emotional wellness, and yeah, that's just society,
yeah.
unfortunately, in the church and outside the church.
All in the church. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. But people in the church come from the world,
Right.
so that's why I said in the church and outside the church. Yeah.
And I think that it's important to you absolutely right. Someone on Instagram said you're in control of who you have at your table.
Mm-hmm.
And you're absolutely right. And I truly believe that, because for me, like I'm like, and anybody who knows me, that like know, I am the most overprotective mother in the world. Like I go to war behind them three. And I can't have everybody around my kids. I can't,
Right.
because I feel like the people that surround my kids, I want those people to be the ones that's encouraging them, supporting them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I'm no longer here, y'all the people that my kids should be able to go to
Right.
for some guidance, for something. And if
Absolutely.
I can't depend on y'all to do that, because I'm looking at you through my side eye. Yeah, you will never.
Yeah, and
It's one thing to have a circle, an inner circle, associates, friends. Yeah.
That's why most of
Everybody is not invited to the table.
yeah. So I got a whole lot of
Everybody don't
sisters.
even feel comfortable at the table.
that's why you got to have different tables.
Yeah. No, only got one table.
I got
That's
I
why
got I
you
got
just.
different tables because
That's why you
you
just
can sit
gotta
at one table,
let
but
it
you can't sit
go.
at this table. Like my children sit at a whole different table. They I don't have people around my children like that.
Hell no.
And I get a lot of pushback about that. Even when trying to date, you get a lot of pushback because everybody just automatically feels or thinks like, oh, you're supposed to like, oh, you're not taking me seriously because you're allowing me into your children's life. And I'm like, because it's those are my children. Those are what I'm responsible for. And parading
Mhm.
people in and out of their life is not the life I'm trying to live. But a lot of
Absolutely.
you get a lot of pushback with that whole ideal of, especially from men, because it's like, oh, you hiding something. It's like, yeah, my children.
Right. Right.
I think
Right.
that's one of the biggest things. Matter of fact, it was one of the things I'm supposed to be talking to my therapist about when I see him again. Um is it me or is it the other people? Because if everybody anybody I come across and they talk about making a big deal about children, even when I talk to my friends about, and it's like, well, they got to meet your kids at some point in time. Like, why? And when it's time for them to meet, when I feel comfortable with them meeting them, then that's the time. But if I start seeing, like Kyra said, if I see a red flag or I'm seeing something about you that is a little, I'm not supposed to be just putting that type of energy in the room or in the realm of my children. But people around you feel like, oh no, that should be like that's just a part of life and that's just a part of the thing. And I'm like, but why does it have to be?
I mean, well, it is a part of life, but it's what you value. You value the life of your children, and where you place your value is where everybody's going to see and going to feel the resistance. But it's twofold. So if you know that you're going to marry this woman, and let's just say, for instance, you put a timetable on, when you're going to marry her, and you guys have been together for 2 years and she has not met your children yet, that's a problem, because now you're making it all about you and not her when both of you guys are in the relationship. And so you need to just make a choice. Well, if I'm not gonna marry her, and this is something that she desires to be whole with me because my children and me are whole, then I need to make a decision, to not be selfish in that regard. Then that's what I call unhealthy selfishness. Because if you guys are talking about marriage but then it doesn't happen, and she sees that you're not inviting her to the table of your children, that's that's going to make her feel some type of way, like it makes you feel some type of way with seeing red flags and not wanting her to come to your children's table. So now it's one-sided. So now you have to make a decision. Are we going to be in this together, or are we going to be separate?
You heard her.
She
Did
was
you?
talking to you too. Get out of here. You said the same exact thing. Like, you ain't gonna be around my kids now. Son, you heard her.
We got to protect the children. I protect. I'm married into 6 children. But I raised 2. but I didn't get introduced to the children until we knew we were getting married. And
Look at
that was one of the first things that I brought up. Well, why can't I meet your children? And he was like, we need to wait. So when he made the decision that we're getting married, that's when I met the children. Because we're not going to talk about marriage and then I'm not meeting your children.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But
And
I,
look, there's hope for me
I'm
yet.
that
See, she
person
married
that
into 6 kids.
everybody know I got kids, but the actual introduction of them kids,
There is hope. There is hope.
yeah,
God will send you hope, won't he? He will send you hope. He's like, listen, don't get weary and well doing. Just keep on, keep on.
Because people
Somebody.
can be crazy. Yeah.
people
Got to
is
protect
crazy.
the children. Yeah.
Janice says protection over your children is showing accountability. Period.
Absolutely.
And I absolutely agree with that. And
Absolutely.
and I love
Because
and
they're
I love
innocent.
Janice. I love Janice, and even though like my son, like she cuts my son's hair. And my son, he used to her now and he like her and everything. And I could say I could trust Janice with my son. Like if I have to go if I have to leave him in the barbershop and I have to go make a run while she cutting, I could trust Janice to watch over my son and make sure my son is good.
Absolutely.
So if I can't trust you like that, yeah, now you can't be.
Jen is a barber. You don't hear too many women barbers like in a male world. That's dope. Go you, Janice.
Come on, Janice. That is a woman of many talents. Y'all better get up on me. Y'all want your haircut? Y'all want me to give y'all the address? She go by appointment only now.
Check you out, Janice. Go on now.
I don't think Janice knew that Shawnee was my brother. I knew Janice before Janice knew Shawnee. Me and Janice used to hang out. I don't think she remembers
that. Let me find out because was out there stepping. I do think that we definitely have to make something known too about therapy. And I could just speak for myself. I'm pretty sure Derek agree, and I'm pretty sure Tawana agree. Therapy ain't easy.
No, it's not.
It's not easy. It's hard. It's gonna be days where sometimes you might even feel like you falling back into a depression because you got to deal with,
I thought that was just me. Look at you. Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Yeah, therapy is not easy because you got to face yourself.
Yeah, you got to.
You've been with yourself the longest. You've been in a relationship with yourself the longest, and you have to face your own inner secrets, your own inner demons, your own truths, your own denials, and it's not easy to face that.
It's not. Mm-hmm. It's not at all. When you look back in that mirror and you see that traumatized, unhealed person, but you healing. Even though you gotta work through all those traumas, it's still a healing process that comes with it. Mm-hmm. So if you just go into therapy thinking, I'm gonna say my piece and then I'm gonna walk out the door, you're not getting therapy. Yeah. Therapy is very trying and it hurt.
Yeah, you have to be intentional with therapy. You really have to be intentional with therapy. I mean, because the purpose of therapy is to heal, so if you're just, giving your copay or giving the full pay and not being intentional, then you're not killing patterns. You're not stopping cycles. It's really self-harm.
Yeah. And y'all don't want to do that to yourselves. Y'all want to heal y'all inner selves, and the first thing it is, y'all got to deal with those, them baby traumas, them childhood traumas. Yeah, that's where mostly everything stems from.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those attachment styles. Yeah, that's where everything stems from. That's how we show up in relationship.
Susie says you have to find who you truly are. And she's on Instagram. Hey, cousin. That's Quetta.
Oh, Quetta. Wow. I haven't seen Quetta in such a long time. Yeah, you do. You have to find out who you are because, in if you really have a secure attachment style, but you're manifesting, you're showing up as avoidant or as disorganized or as anxiousness, which is fear, you know, you're really not the real you. So you have to do the work to become the real you. So you have to stop looking out the window and keep looking in the mirror. You really have to, and you have to do it intentionally, deliberately, every single day.
So
Absolutely.
when you so okay, last question because we run out of time, and if we keep you 20 more minutes, we're gonna have to pay you. So we're gonna get on out of here. So when you are relationships between people who share attachment styles, are they more difficult to be successful, or are they more um are those the more successful ones?
It becomes difficult when the person doesn't want to do the work, right? And then if you have two people in a relationship that have avoidant attachment styles, and you have one that's doing the work and you have one that's not doing the work, you're going to experience difficulty. If you have this the same if you have the same two people with the same attachment style that's not doing the work, you're going to have extreme difficulty, because at least the person that has an awareness of who they are and what they need to become, at least they're doing the work. And if that person wants to be the example to the one who needs to do the work, then they're going to get a lot of blows, they're going to get a lot of hits. But if they're willing to endure so that that person can become healed as well, then it's worth it. But if the person just refused to just do the work, now if you're married, that's different. But if you're just, and if you're, this is my man and that's my woman, this significant other, you can make a choice to leave. But if you're married, I encourage you to endure it.
All right now.
You married, Deacon?
Nope.
Okay.
He
You
is the
Nope.
hesitate.
boy.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but they say opposites attract, but you also want to attract who you are as well. So I'll often tell somebody, if you know you have trauma in your life, please don't get involved with anybody, because you're going to attract who you are.
That's what my therapist said. This is crazy. Literally, this is crazy.
Look
Yeah,
at you. Look at you.
you're going to attract who you are, and you don't want that. So you want to attract a healed individual, a person that has mental wellness, emotional wellness, yeah, that love themselves. Yeah, so you want to get to that point before you choose someone to be a part of your life, because you'll experience
Um,
more trauma and you'll go backwards.
Quetta says you have to create a sense of safety, trust, and rapport so you feel less alone.
I
Hallelujah.
wish she was on here so I can ask her, unpack that.
She we're gonna do a part two to this because she quite had to work. So I was gonna invite her on too because she does life coaching.
Uh-huh.
So the part two of this, we're gonna have her on and we want you to come back on, of course. And
Sure.
because I don't think an
I'm
hour
gonna
is
miss this
enough.
episode. I'm gonna miss that episode because you gonna have me here like you so right. Like, I'm text my therapist now. Like, you know what? My bad, it's my fault. We
Like
gonna
you
do this.
like you doing your job.
Right. Like, it wasn't just you. It wasn't just you. It's me. It's me. Okay. So just start my therapy session. Like I like to first say, it's me. It's me. I see it now. I see it.
It's you.
I was doing background checks on you, trying to find a chink in your armor to you know thought you was a fraud, but now you're official. You're official.
I am done. No, you
My
didn't just
fault.
say
My
I
bad.
thought she
My
was a
bad.
fraud.
My bad, man of God. My bad.
I can't do it. Something is wrong with Deacon. Something is truthfully, honestly wrong with that man. But
Yeah.
we have used up our hour. I hope everybody at home, all the viewers, I hope y'all got some things out of the conversation. We're definitely gonna do a part 2 to this because I don't think it was enough time. But so Dr. T, if you want to leave the viewers with some healthy advice until we get to see you again.
Absolutely. I just want to reiterate, it's okay to have a healthy selfishness for yourself, because you can never have an effective relationship with anybody else until you learn how to be in a relationship with yourself. Never betray yourself. If you find yourself sabotaging yourself, if you find yourself betraying yourself, and even if you don't know what that looks like, what it looks like is I'm putting others before me, and I'm depleting myself, and I am not getting what I need to fulfill my life. That's what that looks like when you betray yourself and you don't put yourself first. I want to encourage you to be selfish, have a healthy selfishness, and choose yourself until you can be effective enough to choose somebody else to be a part of your life. God bless you, everybody.
All right now, and on that note, we ain't saying nothing else. We will see y'all next week, same time, same place. Love, peace, and happiness, y'all. Get some help.
Bye.
Get the help. Tawana will be available very soon. Y'all better get your appointments in.